Alright, Chase Lee Hockey here, Blue Futon, doing a very interesting movie because this is one of those Alamo Draft House movies that you probably never heard of. This is a Japanese movie called Noroi, The Curse. Noroi, The Curse. It's a 2005 horror movie. It's an analog, one of those found footage type of movies where it's, Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project during that time. And I think this has been in Japan for quite some time. And it's like final release on Shudder, I want to say a couple years ago. But for some reason, it's a positive thing, right? That Alamo Draft House is doing these rare-ish movies. And you can actually see it on the big screen. So it's about pretty simple premise. There's a curse in Japan with a bunch of different characters and entities, and a lot of people are involved with trying to figure out what happened to this. There's like multiple characters. Of course, you have the guy that is doing all of the, this talk show. Then you have a girl that's a psychic. And you kind of have an actor who has like a premonitionist. And then you have a real psychic, or the girl can actually see. So there's a lot of characters, right? And they all kind of gravitate towards this one girl that's doing some mess up stuff with babies. That's all I'm going to say. And it is a slow burn, right? Oh, some people are not going to like this movie because it is not like a Paranormal Activity where, things start pretty quick. It's an 80-minute movie. Now, this is about a 2-hour movie, and it takes its time. And then right when the third act hit, it hits you like a freaking just pistol whips you of like what is happening, holy shit visuals, and just some pretty messed up stuff when you come to that level. Yeah, you could say there is a lot of build up to the third act, and it can take some time and kind of like, okay, where's this story arc going to go and where's this story arc going to go? But then when the final act happens, it's holy moly macaroni and cheese. That's all I could say, with some pretty good visuals, good story at the end, and just some WTF factors where you're just like, can I believe everything that is occurring on the screen? And, it does leave it kind of open-ended, so that is kind of a bummer when it comes to that level. But I do think there's good enough visuals and just good enough fun for this movie that I think a lot of people could enjoy it, but not most people. Because I think a lot of people might be a little bit bored with the first 2 acts. Chase out here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm next Bluetontopia. You Blue Futon. And thank you for watching for a great day. I can watch this tape tomorrow week from another here. For now, go freaking one of you. And have you ever heard of this movie?